It's just got the door open just to make sure Shiloh's definitely settled. So just let you tick in, let Amber know she's here, and then we'll get started. So in the meantime, I'm just going to play the introduction to Alex Jones. And what the topic of this conversation is going to be about. So let's shut this door. Okay, everything over. Here we go. It's coming.
President Trump has officially gone to war with the deep state. He has finally taken the gloves off. And I have this from public events that have taken place in the last week to sources very close to the president in the White House. But ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing incredible developments. And I'm going to be laying them out here on this special Sunday broadcast, July 7th, 2019.
This was yesterday's broadcast with Alex Jones. Listen to what he's about to say.
We always talked about the Achilles heel of the deep state is child molestation. That's the currency. Child molestation, child abuse, child murder, child trafficking, organ harvesting for children. That this is the currencies they traffic in, not just illicit drugs and weapons or stolen art. Those are all secondary to their main currency, children. And Jeffrey Epstein, and the fact that he had dozens and dozens of flights with Bill Clinton to the sex island,
We've
and
been
that Bill
saying
Clinton
that for
was reportedly in those logs,
years.
criminally in some cases, only his initials and the initials of other people on board. Now, since 9/11, any plane taking off has to have a manifest of who's on it, was private, especially when you leave the country. I have been consulting one of my air marshal friends this morning on it. He confirmed that is the law. But I've flown on people's private jets, and they get your driver's license and run it before you take off. Or if it's a big group, it's run before on a manifest. Well, guess what happened, ladies and gentlemen? Federal court ordered on July 3rd. It came out July 4th. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages of suppressed information that Obama, during his administration to the FBI, and Mueller, who was also involved with Epstein, had suppressed. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is so huge. Jeffrey Epstein has been rearrested. He only got a slap in the wrist before and barely spent any jail time. He was a massive kingpin trafficker, supplying hundreds of girls a month to rich and powerful men, mainly in the Democratic Party, some in the Republican Party. And because this was the weak spot of the Clintons and others, using this to blackmail people, of course, Bill Clinton imbibed. Hillary's more into women. That they tried to blame this on Trump early on, and people like Alan Dershowitz, that's all over their face. The documents have been released, and it proves that Bill Clinton was flying onboard planes with 12, 13, 14-year-old girls to a sex slave island. This makes the latest sex slave cult bust look tame in comparison, and it's exactly what we knew was going on from our sources and everything we've been laying out for years. So we're completely and totally vindicated. I'm going to lay all this out in the next segment, and the exhibits, and just how huge this is and what this means that Trump's taking the gloves off, and how it ties into everything else that we're looking at. Also, we're going to look at the giant earthquake that hit out in California, with pop scientists saying the next one could be up to 125 times, you heard me right, stronger, and it would look like something out of The Rock's movie San Andreas. That's pretty much what it would look like if you ever had an earthquake that big in something like Los Angeles or San Francisco. So that's all going to be coming up today as well. Believe me, this is a broadcast no one should miss. We're turning the tide against the globalists. We need everybody watching and listening to tell everyone they know. No, right now, tune in. The revolution is being transmitted worldwide. Listening to an Infowars.com frontline report. Here's Alex Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, you have lived to see it happen. The accelerated collapse of the globalists, their entire house of cards that was sewn and welded and spliced together with their secret currency, the way they compromise people. The old days, 100 years ago, even 80 years ago, 70 years ago, you had to set people up cheating on their wives or maybe being gay. That doesn't work anymore for black men. So what works? Children. And so the gang initiation into the deep state, both for conservative and liberal politicians from Europe and the United States, is sex with children. Children as young as 3 years old. I was told this by senior Pentagon military officers and former top FBI agents that ran Southern California like Ted Gunderson. And all these years later, it's coming out. Jeffrey Epstein worked with the Clintons, worked with Robert Mueller to set up thousands of people. Sometimes he'd procure over 200 girls in a month. Young girls, as young as 10 years old, most about 13, 14. For rich men to have sex with at sex parties, and he'd fly whole plane loads of them out to the Caribbean on his big jet they called the Lolita Express. Bill Clinton flew on it more than 20 times. That's old news. But now we know that he flew a bunch of times without putting his name on it or only putting his initials, which is illegal, violates the federal law. Even you're on a private jet now, or a private plane or your own plane, you've got to give them your social security number or driver's license, who you are, your flight number, and where you're going. They didn't do that. They falsified the reports, and the reports on July 4th got released. The judge ordered the day before, thanks to Alan Dershowitz, the famous civil rights and defense lawyer, and another great lawyer, doesn't practice law, but a great guy, Mike Cernovich. They were trying to claim that, because Epstein had been let off with a slap on the wrist for all his pedophile pimping, that secretly Trump was in there, even though it was under Obama's watch. The cover-up happened. So they sued and got the documents, and guess what? There's no Trump in here. There's no Alan Dershowitz. There's Bill Clinton and all his buddies, and all of these initials of people, which is a violation of federal law. Guess who those people are, the initials? People who didn't want people to know they were on the plane, or individuals that were children. Remember the UN report 2 years ago, admitting, AP reported that the UN kidnapped thousands of children, many died out of the Caribbean. Look at all the child sex trafficking coming in under Obama, and even the Senate report admitted, even mainstream news admitted, that thousands of children ended up disappearing, being sex trafficked, many killed under the government program to order the Border Patrol to release them to Democrat charities, who, you guessed it, in some cases trafficked in children's organs. Oh, they're not just raping them. And ladies and gentlemen, the full exhibit is in a powerful Zero Hedge article up on Infowars.com. I read this whole thing the last 2 days, and hundreds of pages of other documents that were suppressed in the court agreements that Obama's Justice Department set up. And now it's exonerated people that had been accused falsely, and it's shown who was really up to it. And who was covering this? Back at the time when highly decorated, top tier, he ran their foreign detail for the Secret Service, agent in charge of operations, Dan Bongino a few years ago tweeted out when Hillary was saying, the Secret Service doesn't have any corruption on us. He said back to her handler, be careful, Nick. People know things not yet released publicly about your Messiah Hillary. Don't poke the bear, loser, because she flew the plane too. You may not like the results. #Epstein, #EmailGate, tweeted Bongino. Gino. And here is that tweet for you. Now, why is this so huge?
Okay, we've heard Alex. He's saying Trump's nowhere on there. Trump's not being called in on this. Hasn't talked about Acosta being in charge of human trafficking as labor secretary. He let the largest child sex trafficker ever located, Mr. Epstein, go scot-free. So just watch what Alex says, how he tries to clear Trump. And Trump knew who Acosta was, what he'd done for his 15-year buddy, that Trump knew likes young women all the way back to 2002. Keep your eyes open.
Because this implicates Republicans as well, mainly Democrats. And if this unravels, which it is unraveling now, there's no way they can hide it, even if they have corrupt Clinton people and Obama people still in the Justice Department. As this comes out, there's no way they're going to get away with it because a bunch of people are going to get charged. Epstein's already been arrested again. And there's a total blueprint. Secret Service agents were reportedly disgusted when girls that were clearly 13, 14 years old, who weren't with their parents, were brought on and were sitting in men's laps and stuff. So it's admitted, and it's in all the court filings, but was in the news years ago, that the Secret Service, they started not having them on the planes. And that Bill Clinton would ditch his, quote, Secret Service because the Secret Service wasn't going to put up with it. Obviously. Like, they should have gone public then, but they did go public. And Bongino's had his house broken into, his car. He's been threatened. A lot of folks have been threatened. I've been threatened over this. I've been told I better shut up about what's going on in the Caribbean, and everything will stop. All the attacks, all the lawsuits, all the threats. Well, guess what? You failed globalists. I didn't shut up, and InfoWars has been first to be on top of this. That's why they did the whole fake Pizzagate thing. Real stuff, the Spirit Cooking in New York. They diverted off to a pizza place where stuff wasn't going on. Didn't have a basement. We had the whole media to cover it. We covered that media coverage. We then got blamed with it falsely. So then say, oh, Hillary's not involved with kids. Oh, she just represented hardcore convicted pedophiles and rapists when she was first a lawyer. That was her specialty. She just continues to be involved in sex trafficking. One of the heads of her foundation is a convicted sex trafficker out of the Caribbean again, who changed her name and now runs Amber Alert. Yes, you can't make this up, ladies and gentlemen. This rabbit hole goes so damn deep, but what this means is Trump's getting control of the Justice Department. Trump is getting some justice out of the courts. And the arrogance of the Clintons trying to threaten Trump.
Trump gave Acosta the labor position in charge of human trafficking.
With this, because he knew Epstein from New York in business and things. Never flew with him, never was in private stuff with him. The fact that they knew that was their Achilles heel, so they tried to blame it on Trump. Like Russia was Hillary's Achilles heel. Uranium won, so they blamed that on Trump. When you've really done it, you blame who is innocent. But it backfired because people sued, the documents got released, and it proves that they are the ones doing this. This is so huge. And it shows that Trump is completely focused, and a lot of big things are about to happen. The gloves are off, and I can tell you from inside information that's incredibly dangerous to even know, that I'm going to release when we come back, that Trump is for real, he's going for broke, and that we are living in incredibly historic times. Speaking of that, we have some major initiatives that I need to launch that will devastate the globalists in a big way. Really exciting things that I'm not at liberty to talk about on air. A lot of behind-the-scenes things going on.
Yeah, let's not talk about Acosta. His resignation doesn't need to be there. You can't be in charge of human trafficking when you let human traffickers there. Let's just bypass all that. Alex, he's a sellout. Some of his stuff is the truth, but it's mixed in with the propaganda. Total control and puppet.
That we don't take credit for. I'll just leave it at that. But we are the real defense force for this country, this republic. You are the support system. You're just as important as I am, just as important as my crew are. And something very exciting just happened. We know we have a zeitgeist. We put on sale these Betsy Ross Flags America back shirts. And I said only 4,000 will be printed. We sold half of them in 2 days. They're all about to sell out, so get the limited editions now. We'll have a new limited edition. It's so popular, but InfoWarsStore.com, and it helps fund these initiatives. We get a lot of money, and selling these t-shirts is a great way to do it. Plus, it'll trigger these anti-free speech, anti-American libtards. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Folks, we are launching another limited edition right now. T-shirt, we're only going to have 4,000 of these. There's 4 different variants.
I'll go back into it again, just making sure that Shiloh's settled. So this live is going out on my Crackbook and over to Twitter. My Instagram and stuff isn't connected up on my website or my LinkedIn or any of the other things, but will be shared out onto pages and then will be uploaded onto YouTube. In fact, actually, I don't think we should. I think we should just upload it onto YouTube, then share it out onto the pages. So basically, we are now 9 days into Forced Adoption Exposed awareness. As I have said, Donald Trump worldwide is going to be pushing in January for human and child trafficking. He doesn't accept at this particular point, might do now, but he didn't at D-Day, prior to D-Day. He may do now. Don't forget, everybody within that network has known who I am. I've had the police monitor my Crackbook, come to my door to say that they're going to threaten to shoot me, in so many words. So obviously everything that I've discussed on my Crackbook has been fed back to say whether or not I'm a high risk, amber risk or a low risk. So all that information has been fed. Everything that I've been about has been all fed over. They would have got people to have gone through and checked everything. They've got computers to scan it, do you know what I mean? But I was a risk enough for them to actually send the police to my door. So obviously new information has come to light since then. But as you know, he was already on this when he started his presidency campaign, and he was already battering Hillary Clinton all over the floor for matters that he said he would discuss when he was in office and had power over her. So obviously people are complaining that since Donald Trump came into office that a lot of the Pizzagate stuff and a lot of the Hillary Clinton stuff has disappeared. Obviously he's had a lot to do. He sat down in a meeting and he's gone, you do. And the worst thing about exposing what we expose is when you bring things into light, you kick the dark out. So you push the dark back under. Light and dark can't exist in the same space. Dark can't exist where light exists. Polarity will always exist. Somebody said to me today, is it realistic to say that we can end this? Yes, it is. What we can do is take something that is very out of balance. Parents are gagged, families are down, depressed, blah, 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 blah. And they're getting away with it. The reality is they're getting away with it. And what we can do is bring this to and reset and put better infrastructures to protect this from ever happening. You can catch up with Alex Jones on CPS News or over on Alex Jones himself. I don't tend to usually follow him because he used to be very aggressive when I knew him back in 2010 and 12 and all that sort of stuff. But he seems to be bringing a lot more balance, a lot more truth. The problem with what we do is you can get very excited, you want it to go now, and sometimes you realise that tactic and strategy is sometimes the best way, and you have to take a step back and go pump. So anyway, I'm not sponsoring Salt Rock. If anybody owns this jumper, you can have it. It was on the park today, but it's very comfortable and it's been handed to roller skating tonight. I got carried away skating tonight. It was really cool. So I didn't do my live while I was out there. I was going to. So, but it's changed the whole sort of topic really. So anyway, within social services and what's going on, I want Alex Jones to push to find something for me. And that is, what is the balance of this tipping scale of the care system and child protection, where we have the percent that is offshore agencies that are trafficking children to people who are manipulating the services to access children, and to incompetence that's causing an issue, and then lack of budget and really good people trying their best. And we have to divide this now. We have to put this into percentages, because there are people that need to work with a system of some form, a family, community. Families need some form of care. Sometimes we cradle to the grave, we get old, we get sick, we well, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, the reality is the real sickness of this, of the vulnerable parents, such as the people that society would see as crackheads, smackheads, drunkards, the low level of society having their kids taken. No one's going to bat an eyelid. Nobody is going to suggest that any person rightfully would leave a child with such person. Now, the majority of these children sometimes end up just in switched around foster care. Some placements, up to 12 placements, and they fall through the cracks and kids run away and they get caught up into something away from the system. And that's people who prey on vulnerable children that aren't protected by parents and family and people like that. So there's so many pieces of the puzzle to this, and we have to put together the bigger picture, because we're not just dealing with me here in the UK, with the people here that it affects here in the UK. We're dealing with the fact that the UK had to apologise in 2010 for the amount of children that were offshored to the States from the UK. And then it starts intertwining, because back historically, when it was the Magdalene places, they were taken to the States again. It all connects back to the States. The DSM-5 connects back to the States. David Jenkins from Scott, who's probably the longest on this side of things that I would per se, has always said he's never got involved with America because he just can't do it all. However, your Aboriginals from Australia will move to Canada, Australia, America. Everybody at the moment is focused on Brexit. Brexit is about leaving the EU. The EU only consists of 32 continents or something like that, maybe less than that. 12, I don't know. I'd need to just double check. But then, aside from Great Britain, EU, the United States of America, Russia, and then all of the different Caribbean islands and continents around the UK, you also have a subset of islands that don't exist on any normal map, not the globe, nothing, and they're the ones that are owned by the royals. That's their private home. That's their get into a plane jet, pull onto their island, have a boat that takes them wherever they want, aeroplane that takes them where they want, helicopter that takes them where they want, nice big luxury home with people who live around them to keep the forestry and everything working, and fisheries and food, and occasionally their friends go. There's many islands that aren't owned or dominated by anybody around the world. Some are for sale, some undiscovered, some people just have left because there's too much work to do. And there's many of these around the waters that exist, and the perimeters of the continents, and things that we diverse or break down into different countries, in countries, counties, nationalities, languages. The curse upon us in language and spelling is to divide us so we can communicate with each other, to separate us. The great thing about a computer is I can type this out and it can be transferred into every single language if need be. India seems to come in, America, Australia. I mean, we're worldwide here. I might be gagged and suppressed and down, and I don't pay for this to work the way that it potentially could do. And we're not as bullet tight as we should be, because I'm dealing with people who are learning as they go, trial and error, catching up, only just learning the government calendar 5 years later, Amber, and understanding why I hit significant dates, times, things like that. Some to do with the education system, some to do with different things. It's the education system, basically. The education system is how I run, so that's how most people run, especially mothers. So anyway, we're going to be hitting, well, I'm not organising this. I'm not taking any credit for any of the work that Katie has done on this. She's done a spectacular job. She's got the 17th absolutely rocking. It's Elijah's birthday, so as you know, my focus is on Elijah, but it was the first date that Scott, which is David Jenkins, starts when they go to London. So anyway, I want everybody there. I'm hoping to maybe just drive in, pop out, have a chat with you, or shoot off to finish Elijah's birthday, or maybe you can all celebrate Elijah's birthday with us. If we could get an amp, maybe we could bring the DJ equipment. But if you're drunk, stone, under influence, Tim won't deal with you. He wants to see real, genuine parents who have had their kids taken, a real miscarriage of justice before he'll ever support anything, because he met me on Downing Street. He's seen this world, he knows this world, he understands activism, he's been in it a lot longer than me, way lot longer than me. Direct action anyway. Well, not really actually, I've been doing it since I was a kid on Urban Matters, but I even saved the Knackerjack from extinction when I was 11 years old at Milchester. You could probably even find the article in the paper about it. Oh God, I broke into many places that did experiments on kids. There are 28 countries in the EU. And do you know how many countries there are worldwide, Amber? Anyway, by the way, who's here? Just let us know who's here. Like, wave, tell me you hate me. Just let us know in the comments. If you're watching this back on YouTube, then obviously you won't get to see if anybody likes, loves, or anything, or any interaction over on YouTube. I will get this up and running properly when I've got a powerful enough computer, so I can run YouTube and Facebook and everything all at the same time, because we've got to get this message out now. It really, really is important. And now is the time. All you parents have to brand up. Amber has to get this shit together, fundamentals and foundations. We have to put this together now. But what is important, everybody involved in this, I can't do anything, everything. Don't forget, I've got 2 babies, I've got my own case on, I've got Dean's work, I've got my work, I've got career going, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I'm also healing. But what is it and why do I do this? I need a new top, by the way. This one was made for me for my committal to prison. So to all you newbies out there, by the way, I've been here since the 17th of July, where I broke my gag, 2013. And we've lost a lot of the videos and I didn't have the equipment, but this was the t-shirt that I wore on, it might have been the 5th of September, or maybe the 28th of October, because it was vacated, it was adjourned and then it was vacated. And I wore this the whole time under my suit. And I don't know how I feel about what is said on the back, because there's balance and polarity in this. And they're just as children take away unabused children, but the children that are abused in this country, we need a system to take children away from parents, unfortunately. But we need this system to be protecting the children once they're in the services. So do children need to be forcefully removed by somebody, some structure? And do I believe in this statement? Don't forget, I still got my roller skates on. So anyway, this is Aaron. Oh, my computer's back to front. This is Aaron, and this is Faith. This is before Aaron and Faith were taken, and Aaron. It's back to front, by the way. Aaron was 3. He just had his 3rd birthday. He just had his 3rd birthday, sort of during the 26-week court process. And Faith was 2. And so, yeah, Aaron would have had his 4th. And they were taken on the 13th of December, hence the home for Christmas, but we had already gone past Christmas because they were taken on the 13th of December 2012 within 3 minutes from Wrexham Myla Hospital in North Wales, and they were taken by a police officer called PC Stephen Lawrence and another one whose name keeps missing because she's a female. I can deal with her a bit differently. And 2 social workers, Carrie Larn and the other one I don't remember. The 2 other ones weren't as involved with the paperwork as the other ones. The other ones vanished after the removal. And I wasn't arrested until I think it was the 28th of January or something, and they didn't get all my paperwork until about the 13th of May 2013. The court ended June 2019 or 17, and I was gagged on June 2019 on the 21st. I've been gagged all the way through. Gagged basically means that I can't talk about so I can't talk about Aaron and Faith. And if I do, I'll basically get these stupid little threats of committal to prisons and taken to the Royal Courts of Justice to face committal to prisons. I have faced 2, and I've been gagged 10 times. And I'm telling you now, fuck your gags. I'm never, ever, ever going to go away. I'm never going to stop. This is for the rest of my days until Aaron and Faith are home with me. It doesn't just affect me, it affects millions and thousands of people around the world. It's been going on for so many years that it's never, ever come to an end. And it's about time that it did. And the only way is if the public now call for a public inquiry into where the children that have been taken and stolen by the state have gone, how they're doing, are they well. Statistics prove that the majority of children who go through the foster care system end up in prison, prostitution, drugs, alcohol, childhood trauma, parent alienation, denied contact, and attachment disorders, and many labels from everything from depression, borderline personality, narcissistic traits. Most of them have suffered sexual, physical, emotional trauma within the system or within people that infiltrate the system, or because they put themselves in vulnerable situations by running away to the streets and being picked up by people who prey on vulnerable children. It's a bigger picture than just saying social services kidnap kids. However, I said on my gag, when I broke my gag at Downing Street, this was with David Jenkins and with Stolen Children in the UK. Actually, I said to a police officer before I did, if I do this, are you going to arrest me? He said, I'm not sure, I haven't seen the orders, and he was calling it through. And anyway, I took the mic and I did it anyway, and I was looking at him as I did it, and I saw a tear run down his eye, and he just went, carry on. And I basically said that when a child is taken, so when my children were taken, and children are taken from the breast, so when my children were taken, that I should feel that I've got to work my fucking ass off to provide my children with something better, not fear who they're with, what's going on, what's happening to them in their life. I get a letter every October from doctors, but it has no name, it doesn't tell me who they are, it doesn't tell me where they are. It's a letter that's sent to Wrexham Adoption Agency, and then it's forwarded to me. and I hate October because I have to wait for it. But it's nothing that they couldn't learn about my kids through my lives or anything like that. I don't get photographs, I don't get a nail clipping, fingerprint, some form of ransom note. Nobody has ever told me what I've got to do to get my kids back. Nobody's ever asked me for money. Well, actually, that's not true. How many people out there, by the way, have had to pay for their contact centre, legal fees, paying for their stuff? The child's being laundered already just by those facts alone. The moment you sign your legal aid form, don't forget XR, by the way, are fundraising for their binding solicitors. Now, if any of you watched Angel and you know about the Wolfmans or whatever it was called, and Bindmans is pretty much the UK, Bristol and London version of the underground corrupt force agencies. So anyway, the other thing is what is interesting is I posted a picture that my son had done for Freemasons. It was from the Royal Artillery. Interesting. So anyway, the time really is now. The 17th of June is the day, July, sorry, is the day that I'm asking every single person worldwide to make a stand under the red X. Contact David to get your forced adoption and long-term foster care. Get your own wristbands, get your own jackets, but I'm asking us all to actually stand the line, because each individual message comes together as the bigger picture. And what pisses me off is I empower a lot of you, right? A lot of you travel a long way to come and stand with me at some of these events. Okay, I'm not always on the front line right now, but sometimes I really make an effort because I'm still here, I'm still working. I've been on the phone to Neil, who's meeting the MP for mental health on the 28th. I'm still don't stop, okay? If I'm not here, I've got my phone, if the battery's off, so obviously I've got two boys. If I had enough people with me or somebody who could just guard them so I can focus, I'd be there. I haven't got a problem taking my kids on the pitch. What I've got a problem with is the police coming in on me when I'm on my own with no video equipment, no crew, nobody around for evidence and to keep me and my kids safe. Come on, I went to Egypt with me and my two boys when they were older, so I'm not that sort of anxiety, but they are gathering evidence on parents that are protesting with kids, and I won't put my boys in any situation that has them taken from me. As you know, when Theresa May was here, they took my car, detained me, assaulted me while I was pregnant, took my son off me, put me through fucking hell for another freaking 6 months. And I've done it now 3 times since, and I'm still with the health visitor and everybody now. So, you know, I'm not willing to jeopardise Elijah and Shiloh. If Dad was supportive, so if the 17th, as it's Elijah's birthday, can be something of a celebration, not this angry, aggressive shit that goes on, with truth and facts and real stories and real emotions and family friendly, then, you know, we'll be there. If not, I'm not wasting your time. And if people are going to stop me from talking or whatever, then, you know, fuck it. You know, even if you're on my own territory, mate, because this is my field, my patch, remember, if you have joined after 2013, I dominated and took over the whole network at that particular point. So, you know, if you've joined since then, this is my obligation, my responsibility, and my duty. So my calling. So I certainly won't alienate me, because I just take the mic off you if I want to be there, if I want to speak to your audience. But they're really building a platform. Like I've said, when the rig comes in, I'll be there. So when rigs come, I'll stand, because I can keep Elijah and Shiloh safe with me on the rig and shut it down if police are coming. Very easy to do. I literally flap it down and my driver goes. So that's the way that I want to do this. I want to have my boys on the rig with me, and if there is any totalitarian or anybody coming, then literally the driver takes us out of there. And even if they shut the roads down, it doesn't really matter, because I will encase us within it, and I'm sure the cameras and lives will prevent things from happening. So, but I don't even want to be in that situation. That's the silly thing about it. I have said to Dean that the potential of what's going on, Dean's been telling me fucking ages, but I have said to Dean that I agree with him that he maybe needs to have the boys with him more this July, because ultimately up until January, if I continue doing what I'm doing, and in fact even if I go in under hiding, the chances are it's going to something will happen more. But if I continue the way that I'm going, I'm either going to get sectioned, arrested, jailed, or a bullet to my head. So even Alex Jones has said, we're all on new territory now, mate. This has now gone from, grassroots through to things, to the trees growing, to now going, wow, hang on, we've got the potential now to really take this from doof to doof and bring this out into the light so much that the light shines into every crack and every cranny and everything. And I'll pray into that. I pray not to pray live, because you're not meant to pray out loud. You're not meant to pray to an audience. Where three may be, there will be a church and a witness and an interpretation of tongues, and that's about it. People who pass through and pray out onto the streets are not. So anyway, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of millions of people involved in this now. It's gone from being about 30 people kicking ass outside Parliament with, 5 or 6 of us turning up at election nights and to now people like. But the thing is, it's got really come together now. And if you watch XR now, it's coming out about the immigrants. People are getting wound up. We've got to feed it more, feed it more, feed it more stories. So I need you now all creating your own YouTube channel, create your own story, do it in sections like I did if need be, or it was 6 videos, so do 7. Do it your own way, put it out there, do it for your art, your creativity, your writing, your music, livings, streaming, get your own t-shirt made, help us get you guys buying to keep us going. Even Alex Jones has to create t-shirts and products to keep his stuff going. I can then buy all the equipment that's needed. We need now, we've got a couple of speakers, we've got the mixer that goes to it. Even for me, I need the mixer, he needs the mixer, so it works well. So if we can build all this properly, get a band to put it in, with the boys to throw it in. I have fallen in love with the racing vans, where it's 2 seats, and there's a bit in the back, and then there's the perfect, absolutely fucking perfect. I'm gonna stick bikes on the back, I'm gonna stick something on the roof, and we can get around very easily, chill out in the back and just be part of the road, or just pull over and jump. And also there's a way of just opening it up, open it, boom. And you can also put it on the outside as well for driving around, so perfect. So I'm gonna probably need about 30 grand, 40 grand, 60 grand, 150 grand. Fuck, I'm gonna need a lot of money. And also I want a retreat centre, and literally I want to be able to undemonize and heal and help people from consistent and persistent and long-term complex trauma over and over and over, and who people have never broken their chains. I just want to help them break their chains and take back their heart, minds and souls, and also teach people to protect their heart, minds and souls, and not to get wrapped up in chains in the first place. So break chains. So anyway, I don't know how long I've been here, 43 minutes. So I will I think it's just Amber here at the moment, I don't know. I don't really know until I shut it down. I go, oh, actually, there was more here. Karen Aiden, what was that about? Oh, Karen Aiden was a social worker. Oh, Fiona's here, so hello, Fiona. It's a bit difficult to scroll down and stuff on this when you're actually live. It's not as easy as you think. Amber's basically says, send the Step Up Britain jet plane and I'll go home to secure the boys. I'm meant to be going over to Trinidad, but it's a bit complicated at the moment because I can't get Shiloh's passport signed. I've now mislaid his photographs now in the paperwork file. I'm trying to find my foster parents to do it. Doctors don't do it anymore. Social workers won't do it. Health visitors won't do it. Mum can't do it. Family can't do it. Friends don't have passports. I really need it signed because it takes 3 weeks, or it's going to cost more. And I'm not paid until the 18th, so literally I'm trying to sell things daily to keep us afloat. Dean's selling some of his equipment as well that's probably, doesn't need to hang around just for the moment. We'll replace it when we get to the next stage. But The bird's beautiful, isn't it lovely? Been a lovely night out there dancing on the skates actually. I took myself to a whole new level tonight. It was really cool. It's the birds, not the kids. So anyway, it's coming up to 5 o'clock, and I sort of want to start my day from 5:30 in the morning, because one of the things as a mum that's really difficult is to get time to yourself, time to create and be who you are, and mum takes over 100% of the time. As you noticed, I'm in a house with 2 other people, in fact 2 other people, and not one of them heard, including Elijah, not one of them heard Shiloh come in and out the 3 times that he did. And Dean was out like a bloody light, Liam is out like a bloody light, Elijah did stir once I left the room. But, you know, mums can't really go far from the kids or spend much time away from the kids, so to be forced to do that unnaturally and not know where they are, who's got them. Some people do. Some people have met the adopters. I haven't. Some people have had the addresses. I haven't. I found my children at the second foster carers they were at, and I got a non-molestation order put on me and a ban from going to Prestatyn in North Wales. And then I met Anonymous, who lived in Prestatyn, and I went. And yeah, so basically I'm asking everybody in this network that's taking direct action that we spend, now is the 9th, that if we basically have a bit of a banner ceremony making, come together on your parks, make some banners, make some poles, get ready for the 17th, get up your printers, work with Amber to get your t-shirts all made, get them sent off, get them done. You know, even if you want to give us a £1 donation along the way for everything, that would be great. I'm going to start, I've got literally all my, I've got fucking hundreds and thousands of balloon bands and stuff that I'm taking down. And don't forget that we've got Danielle that will make things like this. So this is my Step Up Britain one that goes around my ankle, and this is my FEA one that goes around my wrist. Put that back on right now, and that one goes around my ankle. I might use it to hair wobble. I don't think it will work right now, but and then I've got the one on my keys, which is the Halt The Adoption Drive one, and she just asked for costs and donations, and trying to get her to sustain an actual business if she can get her own legal team to properly and out of the way and stuff like that. So anyway, soon to be coming. Number 1, freestyle. I've just said to Dean actually, I need a hat, and the only hat caps I like are the Nike ones because they fit on my head and I like the peak. These Adidas ones are a big way. But Dean really rocks and likes Adidas and wants to be sponsored by Adidas. I have always wanted to be sponsored by Nike. Funny enough, I don't like Nike trainers per se though, and I haven't really found my fitting with trainers and shoes yet, but Dean has always breakdanced in Adidas, so he's always wanted to be sponsored by Adidas and has a design for his black Adidas with his gold and all that sort of stuff. So I said to him tonight, hey, fuck you mate, Adidas up against Nike, here we go. So anyway, even Nike has those standards. So I asked a couple of questions the other day. I can't remember what it was, but basically it was to do with who you're here to serve and why. That was on another day. What your values were, what your beliefs were, what your standards were, what your ethics and ethos was, and what your message was. And if you focus on that, you'll be able to work with us to put your documents together, to talk about your story, to open up your heart, get out your head, deal with your trauma, talk about it. The only way you're going to deal with your trauma is to talk about it. Cry, it's okay. Cry it out, cry it out, cry it out, cry it out. Even if you cry it out, I have broken down on live so many fucking times. I don't give a shit whether my hair's up, my hair's down, whether I look like fucking shit, whether I've got a hoodie on, a cap on, no makeup, a top on, I've got my gym shit on, Nike, yay. You know, I might have my jeans, I've got my ripped fucking jeans on, got my fucking roller skates on, still got my dance shit on, and you know, it's raw as you fucking get, mate. So don't worry about what you look like. I've got a gruff voice, for God's sake. Don't worry about what you sound like. Don't worry about what you think other people will think. It's not their story. This isn't their journey. They don't have to walk with it. They don't have to live with it. They don't have to experience the trauma every day. They don't have to suffer in silence. They don't have to get up every day to get over a mountain in their mind. Mountain in their mind, by the way, I'm about to research and see if they're still around, because I was walking up Kilimanjaro for them, and maybe they might go and do a couple of things to fundraise for us. So I've got a feeling that one of them is here. And then obviously you've got to get over your physical body, and if your mind's not right, then your body isn't right, and if your body's not right, then your life's not right. So the question that I actually really wanted to ask everybody, and I'm going to talk about probably tomorrow, is without all this shit going on in the services, is if we had just had a services that would provide you with what you wanted and need, or felt that you needed or wanted, what was that? What help did you think you were going to get from social services by asking them for their services? And why did it go so wrong? So that's going to be my live for tomorrow, and I will catch up with you then. I've actually got 10 minutes of my hour left, so it is 5 o'clock, but I will do it. So if there is anybody here who's got any questions, including Anne, but may ask a question, then for the next 10 minutes, well, 8 minutes, I will answer one question. So if anybody wants to post a question down there, then I will see if I know the answer or where to direct you. So as soon as it's an hour, I'm out. So if you'd like to ask a question, if you don't want to ask a question, that's completely fine too. And I think this is that really awkward moment for any speaker who's in a room with, say, even talking to tables or chairs. Maybe one person turns up, 5, 10, 15, who knows. Or a massive amount. If they ask a question, everyone goes. And of course, then the speaker stands there and goes, well, obviously I'm not fucking interested enough, nobody wants to know anything. So then they walk out and don't bother. But if you do have any questions, then please put them in the box. This will go up and over on Doodah Doodah. And you know, this is really, really hard for a lot of people to comprehend what's going on. Funny enough, Neil, who is the MP that's dealing with the mental health thing, is dealing with a matter that's going on over in Trinidad, and that's where I'm meant to be going after Elijah's birthday. I'm not doing anything till after Elijah's birthday, but it was Dean's birthday on the 7th, and then he is still going to be here for Elijah's birthday. He said he promises me he won't miss it. So we don't know what we're doing yet. I don't have any plans. If family and friends want to send cards for Elijah, that's fine. I'm not committing to anything. I'm not committing to any birthday parties. If family, friends do want to come and visit, then please do give us a call. Let us know if you're coming or not, and we will arrange what we can arrange and help us make plans. So if people do want to make the effort, but I am not spending money putting on a party. I'm actually not paid until after his birthday. Dean is the one that is covering Elijah's birthday. He's paid literally like 2 days before, but not much. He's on universal credits as well still, so he's still battling with obviously very, 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 very severe complex trauma, but he handles it very well. Spends a lot of time in church and doing his art and his battle with this campaign, but less public than me. So anyway, I haven't actually had to scroll down, so Amber's just said, I still need to write up why I serve your family, laugh out loud. I've been meaning to write it up for ages. So anyway, 6 minutes to go. Just let us know if you're still here. If you're not still here, then please tell me at some point if there's any point in actually doing this. And the only way we're going to go out is for people to share, put it out, and for Amber to write properly in the tops after I've completed, because obviously I free fall when I talk. So script it out properly, and also the standard has been fucking set, girls, so you need to move your fucking ass, Amber, because you're holding us back and you're an anchor. You are an anchor at the moment, mate. So if you want to step forward as a fucking motor, you have actually got quite a long way to go. So we need action now. We need direct action now. We need people to spend this time now up to the 17th, getting together, creating an event. We will create the event for this, and I'm hoping that the people that are involved in the networks that don't talk to me, haven't put me on the guest list, couldn't give a shit whether I turn up or not, take my energy, actually got inspired by me. But hey, shit happens. That's what happens in life, don't they? People feed off you and run. But I'm hoping it's not going to be like that, and we are going to come together, and it is going to be one big happy family, and we will, do this. But I disagreed with the message that about the papers saying that we didn't want our kids back. It's not about us not wanting our kids back. Yes, we want to stop this happening to other people, but I want my kids back. Simple as that. Now, yeah, maybe. If not this year, it might be next year, but I'm not going to stop and keep focusing. That's what keeps me going all year. So there is a page home Christmas. You're welcome to join us. Just as there's Forced Adoption Exposed, Halt The Adoption Drive, Step Up USA, Step Up Room, Taking from the Breast, CP News, CBS News Network, many other things. So again, I urge all people who are going to take direct action. There is an XR in your city, in your town. Please go and join them. Please go and learn their ways, because it doesn't matter whether you're standing for the planet or the people or the population, then this is still all the same tools and skills that you need. And the more that we come together, the more we can all just stand for humanity, and and not just for us here, but we have to look at where we are in the world right now for everybody, because this polarity that exists is just so out of balance, and we don't necessarily need things to be as bad as they are, and the way that we live in the flesh persecutes the people that Jesus came to set free. So that's hypocritical. So we can't have people out on the street suffering. We can't have people walking around down in drugs and alcohol. I had children today say, can they help me because they're alcoholic? It was the right thing to do, and I stood with the children. I dealt with the situation until she went in, and I explained, that you don't always see the alcoholism, you see the person, but they're all right to safeguard themselves and help them understand, blah, blah, blah. But if she was living at home with them children, should someone support the family to stay together? There are ways to do it. There are lifelines, there's school, there's people, there's carers, there's loads of ways to protect and safeguard a family, keeping them together. We urge this system to completely turn this around. Nadeem, I urge and hope, and I'm asking Martin Matthews, all the people, all the fathers for justice, all of the people for denied contact, parent alienation, everything under the family courts, everything between divorces, separation, everything that keeps families away from each other, be it jobs, children. And we've got to come together as a society that supports our own families. It doesn't matter where we get on, it doesn't matter what it is, but they need to release a lot of money now to basically deal with the trauma that the system's caused. They have to put their hand up and go, we have screwed up. They pilot, they do trial and errors. They don't always get the feedback because people don't know how to do that. We need to feedback, and that's what I'm asking you all to do. So anyway, fuck you. None of you want to ask a question. Nobody wants to let me know whether you're listening or not. Nobody wants to interact in any way, shape or form. So why the fuck am I here? But anyway, Amber, get on to Alex Jones. Get me over onto speaking with him. I might even put a dress and come on live. And if he wants to fly me over to do it in the room, I'm on my way. But he has got to also bring the boys' dad and the boys, and offer it to my other boys if need be. But they've got jobs. So if Alex Jones wants to bring us over to do this properly, then I'm happy to come over and speak in their parliaments and Congress and do my 3-minute pitch over there, rather than the opportunity I missed here. So that's an opportunity as well. So, and Dean could certainly smash America right now. But anyway, 10 seconds to go. I said I'd give you an hour of my time in common before I did a live earlier on today. So I am over and out, and I'm off to bed, and I shall see you all soon. And don't forget, stay focused and stay true to this. And it's a battlefield of your mind, it's a war on your mind. So get some balance on this. Learn to trust this. Have Christmas. And if you do know where Aaron and Faith are, they were known as Aaron Thompson, Aaron Faith Cotton. Both are actually same father, just that he didn't turn up to register before the law had changed. And they were both known as Aaron and Faith Cotton. They were taken in Wrexham here in the UK and adopted through Wrexham Adoption Agency. They are now 9 and 10, and they will be in your area somewhere. If you do know their whereabouts, please get in contact with me. I wish to speak to the adopters, and I am going to court to request. I'm not even going to do this through the courts, mate. There are chances that you might find yourself one day legged and bound and a gun to your head, and I'll take my children my own way. It's just that in order to do that, I need 150,000, and if that day comes, it will happen. Simple as that. Shit happens, mate. Don't kidnap my kids, and I don't have to kidnap them back. Right? So, any option is possible. Tomorrow I could be capable of saying I don't think I would do that, but tomorrow I could be closer to thinking that's the only way to go. But I'm not in a situation to do so, so it's a possible future maybe. And in the criminal law, you can't be arrested for that. Under family courts, you can have your kids taken for the rest of your life. No crime, no punishment. So anyway, it's absolutely beautiful out there. It's a bit messy. Gives me a few little obstacles to roller skating around. So anyway, I might actually set up at some point. I don't know if you can see. Just for comic purpose for you. No, actually I caught myself on the jumper. Got my jumper on the floor, didn't see it. So anyway, guys, I will see you soon, and I'm going to go and check how many injuries I have. I haven't actually. It's quite funny. Oh, I tell you what, though, you've got to watch out having your phone in your back pocket. Do you want to see my phone? Like I tell my children, you always get back up more times than you fall over. However, my phone is soon to not get back up. I don't have my camera anymore because going on your roller skates, you tend to go backwards, and I need to get one of them arm things because I keep sitting on my fucking ass. I do this thing where I go on both of my skates and I'll go along. I'll video it one day, who knows. I'll do it in the dark at the moment, so. But let's see if I did any damage. I actually have done some damage, which is really funny, I'll show you. So I've already just hurt my hand there. And it's funny, fucking hell, like I said. And I'm glad this has happened actually. Hey, don't drink the milk. You want to see what they did to it. I got washing up for tomorrow. I'm not doing it tonight, seriously. I need a fucking dishwasher. 5 of us in a 1-bedroom house is crazy. I want an equestrian, and then from that build with the treatment centre. So, I really actually have hurt my wrist. Shit. I did put my jumper down on the floor. I didn't see it, so that was a genuine fall on my ass, just me. But anyway, they might have put us on our ass. They might have taken our kids, knocked us down, put us in depression and suppression, got us locked up in our fucking heads and not sure whether to get our heads off the pillow, how we feel, what emotions we're dealing with, drifting around, and it's about time we took control and said, whoa, wait, steady mate, hang on a minute, how the fuck have we got away with this? I need to really interject. Where am I now? Where do I want to be? You know, make it so you believe that you'll bring your children back. Make it so you're in the right situation. If you've got to drag yourself out of social housing and out of benefit system and buy a home and work your fucking ass off for the next 5 years, so fucking be it. Because you're either going to be where you are now, still down here, or in 5 years' time, you know, you can be getting back up. And, you know, I will tell you straight that when I come here, somebody who lives here, who doesn't want to be public, was knocked down. She was still down. I actually made a false comment the other day, so I apologise for that. And I actually said she was taking crack. It wasn't crack. I think it was. I get a bit confused on this crack and smack or heroin or whatever it is. Weed and drugs and stuff, because I'm not a drug user. So reading about it. And what was I going to say? She didn't have contact with any of her children. It had been a long time, like, they were taken as young kids, and they were getting to the ages of turning of an age, and she's held in there, battering, but like, not really getting out, getting sicker and sicker and sicker. Cross paths. She actually came on as admin for a bit, and gave us a bit of a hand, and really did boost us, for a bit, but it's tiring and too much, and the trialing was too much, and she felt that she needed to just go and move out of here, and funny enough, Wales, get herself settled, and initially her elder daughter wouldn't even speak to her, like she fucking hated her, she'd been told so much shit about her, she didn't want anything to do with her. She did eventually start seeing one of them, and it was causing conflict, lots of issues, lots of problems. Then she lost contact again, and it was taken from her. And she really, really had fought back, and now she has contact with both of them. And it's looking like she's gone to a bigger house to give them the option, and it looks like that's about to happen. So she also wanted to let me know of her positive stories. So we've got many, many, many positive stories, but at the end of the day, it's a spectrum, guys. And whether you accept it or not, this shit's happening. We don't know our kids are safe, so we have to do something, and the time is now. So I shall hopefully Amber will refeed this out on YouTube and this tomorrow, and you can all catch up, and I will be on live at some point. Dean is pretty much with the boys, so I'm free to get shit done, and he doesn't seem to be getting in my way per se. So it's just that I need a new phone. And I do cope better with an iPhone than an Android, whether people want to try and switch me or not. I do. I get on so much better with this sort of equipment. So, haven't tried many other things though. So if anyone does want to make a suggestion, I am going to have to sort this out. Still need camera equipment, still need all that sort of stuff. We need an amp. If anyone's got a spare amp laying around and can donate an amp to, well, Dean potentially, really, because we're building his equipment at the moment, because that's where we're going to make money. But it's the same equipment that I need, and he's said he's only charging just for normal work while he builds his studio £400. So if anybody out there wants, that's an hour though, it's about £1,000 for an evening. So if anybody does actually want him DJing, if we get an amp, a generator if we're out on the field, but I think it's all set to go really, probably just a table and stuff like that. It's not the greatest equipment because we're starting from where we're starting from, like our car, 375 quid. So anyway, I ran 10 minutes over. I just wanted to check. Amber just said XR has a drill book out called This Is Not a Drill. So if Amber wants to connect up with them about affiliate marketing and sharing out this book, so we can get £1 for every book and then turn red and get that done for us. And if anybody else wants to help, then we've got to come together, but we've got to work again under the same ethics. This comes from me, so therefore if you're in this network, then it's a collective of people that I hope we're all going in the same direction. If not, then I'll get on my own fucking reaching out. And then I don't need to be there. If it's all shouty bollocks and people turning up drunk and shit like that, I'm out. I won't take my kids to shit like that. If I can't take my kids to your event, then you shouldn't have kids. Simple as that. So let's hope it's an event I can take my kids. Let's hope it's an event that even I'm welcome to. And let's hope this is an event that's going to carry the banner of everybody and not just what they want to stand under. I have never stood under my own banner per se. I stand in unity with you all. So anyway, Salt Rock, apparently. Where is it? I don't know. I'm gonna have a look where Salt Rock is. See what I uncover. The Lord blesses me in knowledge and truth and wisdom in many ways. So anyway, I'm gonna get some sleep. I might even go out on roller skates actually and get some sleep once they're up and settled and get back to bed then for a bit of winding because I can take the kids out. So I should catch up with you soon. Bye.